All right. Hello, everybody. We are team number 1, and we are going to be presenting on the ethics of retargeted ads. My name is Joe. We also have Ash, Hangxiao, and Anna, who will all be presenting today.
Okay. So the use of retarget ads is a method of online advertising that finds a way back to users after he or she visits and leaves a website. Marketers use this method to increase their brand's awareness and interest by displaying relevant ads for users to use. The intent to use retargeted ads is to convert users who do not show enough interest to purchase a brand. Displaying the relevant ads is possible through browsing cookies, which are pieces of code on a website that collects browsing data. For example, what time to serve ads and who these ads are supposed to be sent to. From an engineer's perspective, you could see the problem being that people do not show enough interest for your product, so you would show them more ads as a solution.
And I'm going to introduce how retargeted ads work. In this type of retargeting, the web page we are browsing will use a small piece of code to place a browser cookie on our account. When we leave that page, this cookie will track our surfing behavior and determine our preferences, and then decides which ads to show. Therefore, we are easily to be attracted by retargeted ads and go back to that website for shopping. That's how it works.
When settling on our idea to do retargeted ads, we brainstormed and came up with 4 different ethical viewpoints. The first and second tackle on a broad ethical view. The first being how retargeted ads are beneficial, and conversely, how retargeted ads are detrimental. Our next idea concerns the relationship between retargeted ads and information cocoons, and our last ethical viewpoint tackles the privacy issue that goes hand in hand with retargeted ads.
I would like to talk about access and exclusions. Those who have access to targeted ads are markets who have an interest in advertising their brands. The browsing data can also be accessed by other third-party members who share the same interests by purchasing said data on the user. The idea of collecting data on the user is significant and a big way for marketers to make money. However, they must be truthful through their policy on how they use data through their own policy. By laws, users have the ability to access their own browsing data by choosing to accept cookies or declining. Accepting this third-party cookie allows companies to use their data and potentially sell it. Those who are excluded to targeting ads are those who choose to block ads through blockers or act incognito mode, and those who also decline cookies. Declining cookies may cause the marketer and user to lose profits and benefits. And an ethical standpoint, the ability to choose to decline or accept cookies allows users to choose if they wish to share information in exchange for benefits. Marketers share their intent on how they use user data, so it is up to the user's judgment to see if a website uses their information in a truthful manner or in a devious act.
Okay, so who benefits from retargeted ads? Well, marketing agencies, consumers, and anyone who sells anything on the internet can benefit. Regarding sellers, it's found that website visitors who are retargeted are more likely to convert by 43%. It's a marketing miracle. But it's not just businesses that benefit from retargeted ads. Getting desired products and saving money are both beneficial to consumers. The Pew Research Center conducted a survey regarding retargeted ads and found that 47% of consumers would sacrifice privacy to get a better deal, meaning almost half of those who were surveyed would rather have retargeted ads if it means that they could save money. So how is this ethical? Well, relevancy creates value, and retargeting creates relevancy. And isn't value a key aspect to consider when regarding ethics? The Weston Who Needs Ethics reading we had for class defines value as things we care about, things that matter to us, The goals or ideals we aspire to and measure ourselves or others or society by. Therefore, the things we buy hold value. We care about the things we buy and they matter to us. So making products we want more relevant will in turn add more value.
So, retargeting ads can prove to be beneficial, but they can also come with negative effects for both users and marketers alike. For users in an age of technology, privacy may be a bigger deal than one can think. Back to the study on how 47% would rather sell their information for benefits is significant because at this point, privacy may even outweigh the materialistic gains. At exchange for benefits, the user's potential information is at risk at the hands of third party websites. They have the ability to use your data for their own gain and even sell it to other marketers if they choose to be. It gives websites the ability to control what you see, which can have an effect on what you could buy. It would also expose the user to intrusive ads that may displease users or lead them to buy a product that is faulty and possibly cost more than what it's worth. Regarding targeted ads, while retargeted ads has negative for users, it can also negatively impact the marketers themselves. An example would be that retargeted ads may be too expensive for marketing budgets, despite thinking that it would be a potential way to reduce advertising costs. Also, retargeted ads may give the opposite results. Because of their potential to be intrusive, they may do the opposite of bringing people or pushing people away from your product.
One of the biggest ethical concerns of retargeted ads is the abuse of privacy. According to a recent report by peer research review on social media and privacy, 74% of Americans state that being in charge of their privacy information is very important. However, only 9% polled believe that they have total control over their personal data. Leaks of private information from companies such as Facebook to British Airways over the course of the past decade has brought attention to this issue. Companies often sell, store, and or replicate their consumers' data on servers, which can be easily accessed by hackers. A way to prevent this breach in privacy is implementing better security standard for storing data, such as distributed storing systems or better cryptography solutions. However, some officials argue and say that these new preventative measures don't go far enough, and that personal data such as social security numbers and credit card information should not be stored at all. Another issue is the lack of clarity from third parties. Third party advertising can be dangerous because the publisher doesn't always know who they are selling the data to. Third parties can also sell to fourth or fifth parties advertisings. Although steps have been taken, such as removing partnership categories that rely on third party data providers by large corporations such as Facebook, additional steps need to be taken into account to prevent this danger to consumers. Another issue is facial recognition. As facial recognition becomes more commonplace, there are serious worries about how the data that was once only associated with your email address or geographical location is now associated with your face.
All right, so in an ethical perspective, although most websites have policies that show how data is shared, they may still use it as a way to target consumers through deceptive acts. Is it ethical to sell one's information even if they consent towards it? The idea of retargeted ads gives us privacy concerns for many users.
I'm going to talk about another question. It's information cocoon. The information cocoon means people's information field will be habitually guided by their own interests, thus shackling their lives in a cocoon like a silkworm cocoon. This problem reflects a social problem distracted with the popularity of retargeted ads. Usually, when we browse in Amazon, CarMax or other platforms, the platform will automatically obtain the user's preferences according to the user's browsing history and then push retargeted ads. This technology will plausibly have a great effect on our lives. Just imagine, over time, if user A is a sports fan, most of the information obtained by user A is related to sports. It is difficult to obtain other related information without the sports lens, such as music or military. Because the platform pursues click-through rate and profit, it will keep pushing content that user A is interested in, and that has user A's bias, essentially brainwashing them. Over time, because of the role of the information cocoon and the single acquisition of information, user A's social group may also become narrow. If the entire society falls into the information cocoon effect of the personalized recommendation system, it will be pathological. According to the Code of Ethics, engineers shall treat all persons with dignity, respect, fairness, and without discrimination. However, in the process of retargeting, restricting the diversity of advertisements that people get without authorization and shackling people's information in a cocoon doesn't respect users' rights. An engineer should help users freely explore the vast network world as much as possible without disrespect.
Engineers shall hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public, according to the NESB Code of Ethics for Engineers. This is something that we must keep in mind as we start our careers as engineers. Thank you so much for listening to us today. Have a good one.